Forward to the flag. Good evening and welcome to our March community meeting. Today I have a very special guest. It is our very own BIST student, Stephany Mendez. During her studies, she has completed placements in the Public School Board of Niagara, and she has supported individuals with disabilities. During her studies, she became very interested in CBT and ACT, and is here to share some information with us this evening. So please welcome Stephany.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing well today. So let me just pull up my screen for you guys to see. Okay. Y'all can see this?
Okay. Yes, we can see it.
Right there. Okay. Okay. So I hope you're all doing well. And we're going to get started. So the topic is managing our actions. So most brain injuries, no matter how severe, will cause the person to experience emotional or other changes in their lives. And so behavioral changes. So today I'm going to be talking to you about our actions and hopefully things that we can do to manage them a little bit better. So I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. So as Melissa mentioned, my name is Stephany. I am currently finishing my last year in behavioral science at St. Lawrence College and doing my last placement here with the Brain Injury Society of Toronto. Over the past 3 years of my study, I have come to learn a lot about our actions, their functions, and how we can change them to be more meaningful to ourselves and to our lifestyles. So that's what I'll be talking to you about today. So today, I want to talk to you about what are our actions. We are going to talk about how actions can be seen like an iceberg. And I'll explain possible functions to our actions and how the environment can trigger them. I'll touch on our emotions, thoughts, and feelings and how they can also influence our actions. And to finish off, I'll explain two psychotherapies that can help us with our internal actions and of course answer the questions that you may have. So what are actions? So according to the dictionary, actions are anything that an individual does or says in response to a stimulation. But not all actions can be seen. Some are internal. And by internal, I mean that they occur within ourselves. So others around us are not able to pick on them and see them unless we express them publicly. So our internal actions are our thoughts, emotions, and feelings. So actions are often seen as being like an iceberg. You have the top part right here that we can see and we can actually touch. And then we have the bottom of the iceberg, which we don't see unless we take a dive into the freezing waters. So our actions are the same. We have the actions that we can see, and then we have those actions that go in within ourselves that we don't see and others can't see either. So overt actions are the actions that we can see. They are the top of the iceberg, like I mentioned. And overt actions can be things like walking, smiling, frowning, speaking, or crying. So when we take a look at walking, we can actually see ourselves walking. We can feel our legs moving. We can see them moving. We can see how many and count how many steps we take. We can measure the distance between point A and point B. So we can physically see it and others can see it as well. The same goes with smiling. Smiling, you can see it physically. So when a person smiles, we see our mouths pulling upwards, we see our teeth, And sometimes we can hear a giggle if it's funny. And then for frowning, we can see that too. We can see our eyebrows coming close together. Some people move their arms, so we cross our arms, we stump, or we make sounds as well. Crying is another example of an over emotion because we can see tears and we can actually hear the sobbing as well of the person. Now let's look at the bottom of the iceberg. At the bottom, we have the covert actions. These are actions that we can't see or observe, and others can't either. There are our thoughts, feelings, and our emotions. An example can be when we're dreaming, when we're daydreaming. Our friends and families can't see that happening, but we can feel our thoughts and we can see our thoughts and hear our thoughts inside of us. Sadness is another action that can't be physically seen, as it is a feeling. But when we do see sadness is when we start crying, like we spoke before. That's when we actually see physical changes happening. Another example can be stress and anxiety. We don't see these actions, but we're able to feel them inside of ourselves. We feel our hearts beating faster. Some people get dizzy, blurry vision. So we're the ones that can actually sense it, but others around us can't. So functions of our actions, understanding the reason for performing certain actions allow us to understand the reasons why we're doing them. It gives us information so that we can plan ahead, so that we don't react to things in certain ways. Knowing the function of our actions allows us to see if we're gaining something out of those actions or if we're losing something from acting out. It also allows us to see if we can change things. It allows us to see if we can maybe change the way we react in certain situations in the future. And also it allows us to see if we can make changes so that we can get the same outcome, but without reacting the same way as we have before in the past. So there are four functions for our actions, which are the following. So we have sensory, which it provides us a stimulation to the pleasure zones of the brain. An example of this would be scratching a mosquito bite. When we scratch the mosquito bite, we feel the itchiness go away and we start feeling a pleasurable feeling. Then we have escape. Escape, it provides us with the removal of undesired activities, interactions, or situations that might be going on. An example of this could be taking a different route home to avoid traffic. So you're avoiding being stuck for like 2-3 hours in traffic in your car. Then we have attention. So attention provides us with access or awareness from other people or interactions. An example of this could be screaming at the top of your lungs for help and then having someone come rushing towards you and giving you help. So you got attention from screaming. Tangible would be, it provides us with something that we want or desired or an activity. An example could be, have you ever gone to those like vending machines that have your chips stuck there? And then you have to start banging on the machine so that chip bag falls and then you can grab it. That's an example of a function of an action. So the action was hitting and the function was to get the chips. So now now that we know the possible function for our actions, we can talk about how the environment can trigger us to act certain ways. We can think of our environment. When we think of our environment, think of the things that we see physically, but our environments are made up of other factors such as peers around us, social factors, cultural factors. Some environmental triggers are common, could be that influence our actions could be lighting in the room. It might be too dark or too bright, and that would influence how you feel and act in that environment. Also, we can notice noise levels. Loud noises can make you act in certain ways, and calming sounds like rain can influence you to feel a certain way as well. Temperature in the room. If it's too cold or too hot, it can influence you to act in certain ways as well. So these can influence how you feel and act in your environment. And I'll give you a little example about this too. So let's say you're trying to fill out an application, but the lighting in the room is too bright and it's making you feel like a headache is coming on and you can't focus. So that environment will influence you to get up, walk toward the light switch, dim the lights or turn them off, or just move to another space where the lighting is not as bright so that you can continue filling out the application more comfortably. So now that you know the functions and how the environment can have an influence, let's talk about strategies that we can do to help us with this. So according to some studies, distractibility, aggression, restlessness are some common actions that can be influenced by our environments. So what can we do to change our environments to be able to change our actions? So in ABA, there are several strategies that can help minimize these actions. And today I'll talk to you about antecedent management strategies. So antecedent management strategies are highly recommended, and their goal is to change our environment and psychological states to minimize certain actions. This strategy involves rearranging our environment prior to the signs of an action or reaction occurring. So we try to alter the environment so that it no longer provokes a reaction from us. So some antecedent techniques include changing the environment we're in, as well as positive self-talk. There are two classes of antecedent events. One would be discriminative stimuli, which signals that something will occur or can occur. And then we have establishing operations, which are conditions or events that alter the value of what is happening around us. So I'll give you a few examples of some antecedent strategies. We can change our environments in several ways. So let's say that we get very anxious and frustrated when we forget where certain things are in the kitchen. So one way to change this so it doesn't provoke anxiety and frustration the next time that we're in the kitchen could be labeling the cupboards or labeling the containers so that we know what's inside of them and we don't get anxious or frustrated the next time we're in the kitchen. Another example could be maybe prompts or reminders. So prompt and reminders will act as our stimulus, discriminative stimulus. And what they'll do is that they'll signal that something will occur prior to it occurring. So let's say that we have to meet our friend for coffee at 3 p.m. So we will set a reminder on our phone to signal, let's say at 2 or at 1 p.m. that we have to go meet our friend. So when we see that on our phone, the reminder, it will let us know that there's something occurring that we will have to attend so that we don't forget. Another example could be the bright light situation. So that if we know that, let's say in our room, the light is too bright, what we can do is we can get a dimmer. Sometimes that helps. So when we have a dimmer, we're rearranging our environment. So every time we go into our room, we'll dim the light so it's not as bright. The same goes with noise levels. If you know that you can't stand loud sounds, you always make sure to the TV, for example, when you turn the TV, you'll make sure to automatically start lowering the volume down so that you don't react to the loud sounds and cause you any headaches or any other symptoms that might affect you and how you react. Another example of an antecedent strategy could be, let's say you know that you're more productive in the morning. So you'll plan around the morning hours to book appointments or go grocery shopping or do what you have to do, because you know that the morning hours are the best hours for you instead of the afternoon when you're more likely to be tired and just not want to go out. The same goes with weather. Now in our phones, we have the weather app, so we can see ahead the days and what the weather will be like. So what we can do is plan around the good days. So let's say we want to book an appointment for Tuesday, but Tuesday's going to rain. Maybe Wednesday will be sunny. So we can ask if we can book the appointment for Wednesday. That way we're manipulating our environment so that we can actually make it to our appointment and be productive that day. So now I want to ask you, how can you change your own environment? What are some things that you've done to rearrange your environment? And if they worked, I'll give it to you so we can communicate. You can, I don't know if you can unmute your mic or if you want to put it in the chat.
So people can put their thoughts and comments and questions into the Q&A or the chat box. It's not possible to unmute everybody at this time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Perhaps at the end. I said perhaps at the end.
Okay, yeah. Just let me know then. Okay. So far we've been talking about our external actions, the top part of the iceberg. But now let's talk about the bottom of the iceberg, the actions that we don't see. Covert actions are those that we don't see. They are emotions, thoughts, and feelings. And I'll show you a little video now of how they're connected and how they influence us to act in certain ways. So let me just stop sharing my screen so I can show you the video.
And I think one of our members missed something. So I'm just going to get them to clarify in the chat, or sorry, in the Q&A.
Okay.
Clarify what you need repeated.
Just play this.
What we feel and how we behave. Each reinforces the other. Together they are the building blocks for human experience and self-knowledge, without which we can struggle to make sense of our lives with clarity and accuracy. Let's look at each area. Feelings and emotions. Feelings act like sensors, signaling to us how a situation is being experienced or perceived. Knowing what the feeling is helps us determine what may be bothering us and from there decide on a course of action. For instance, is this feeling based on a correct assumption? Does this feeling need to be expressed? When is the best time for this? Does it require reflection or perhaps self-care? Thoughts and thinking. How we think about ourselves and the world around us is determined by our temperament, our culture, family upbringing, and on our experiences. Thoughts are powerful and they influence our feelings and behavior, which in turn reinforces that thinking, such as beliefs, assumptions, and boundaries. Or we can choose to challenge our thinking, which will affect the other two areas in a different way. doing and behaving. In various situations, what we choose to do and say or not is a culmination of our thoughts and feelings. Much of these actions or reactions are automatic or subconscious, as over time they become well-established wiring in our brain. Again, these are changeable. If your actions or reactions are causing upset for you or others around you, you can choose to look at these as opportunities for reflection and change.
So now let's look at how our actions influenced by our thoughts and emotions. So according to the dictionary, emotions are described as complex states of feelings that influence our thoughts and our actions. Our emotions and thoughts affect the way that we interact in social settings. They influence us to think of what we can do and what we can't do. And they often stop us from making progress in situations sometimes. So here's just a little clip again. Let's see if it'll play here.
This area of SEL focuses on the connection between our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. The ability to identify our emotions helps us learn how to manage them and empathize with others. This positively impacts the way that we think and, in turn, how we behave and react in situations.
This skill supports our ability to relate to others and properly express ourselves. Being aware of your emotions helps you understand yourself more, like knowing what makes you tick. It's a first step towards being able to control them, and that's useful when we connect with other people.
When something happens that makes you feel really emotional, it can feel overwhelming. We have these moments with our friends, family, and other relationships. For example, sometimes we lash out at people when we're actually just tired or hungry. Understanding how we feel allows you to deal with that emotion so you can have a clear head to think and react appropriately.
So there are several therapies that can help us change the way that we think, but I will discuss 2 therapies with you today that can help. These therapies can only be provided by a professional psychotherapist, but I'll give you a little bit of an overview of what they do and how they can help us. So CBT, which stands for cognitive behavioral therapy, is one, and then we have ACT, which stands for acceptance and commitment therapy. So according to studies by Radcastle, it is noted that CBT has helped patients deal with symptoms of depression, anxiety, OCD, mood swings, and lack of empathy and difficulties socializing. CBT has been successfully used in a variety of disorders, including traumatic brain injury patients with post-concussional symptoms and secondary effects such as anxiety and fatigue. It helps the individual understand why they're acting in a certain way, and also it helps uncover distorted thinking patterns. And it builds around 3 core principles. So 1 is beliefs create feelings, 2, feelings dictate actions, and 3, actions reinforces beliefs. So patients learn to understand their thoughts and their feelings, which causes them to act differently in different situations. The goal of cognitive behavioral therapy after traumatic brain injury is to kind of retrain your brain to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. So I'll show you a little clip that gives you a brief information of CBT.
Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, encompasses a range of talking therapies based on the idea that thoughts, feelings, what we do, and how our bodies feel are all connected. If we change one of these, we can alter all the others. When we're low or upset, we often fall into patterns of thinking and responding, which can worsen how we feel. CBT works to help us notice and change problematic thinking styles or behaviour patterns so we can feel better. CBT works for lots of different people and problems and is widely recommended by national treatment guidelines across the UK. Cognitive behavioural therapy.
So here, I'm going to give you 2 examples of worksheets that we can do anywhere. We just need a pencil and a paper and we can get started. So the first one is called a thoughts and behaviors. And this worksheet looks at the pros and cons of certain actions and then gives you a space to develop a new plan to change the initial action and that you had at the beginning. Then we have a thought record sheet. This looks at the situation and what happened, and it helps identify what triggered that initial thought and the actions that followed. And so these are very helpful because you can start tracking down and see where you can change how you reacted or the situation where it happened, and see if you can modify that environment so that you don't react that this exact same way next time. And here are 2 free CBT resources that you can access. The first is called Ability CBT. This site and app provides you with free CBT therapy. They have partnered with the government so the individual can have the virtual access to a therapist. So when you log in to their website, you'll sign up and then you'll do an assessment of needs so that they connect you to the correct therapist so that they can help you. And then you'll go through 10 modules with your therapist, building skills. You'll do some videos, some readings, some worksheets that will help you deal and change those thoughts. And then you can schedule your own appointments with your therapist. You can message them and you can video call them, or you can have phone calls as well anytime. And then there's Mind Beacon, who offer free mental health support to Ontario residents that are dealing with anxiety, stress, depression, and other symptoms. So the therapists are virtual, so you don't have to worry about making appointments. They're there whenever you are available. And what you'll do is that to get started, you'll go to their website and create an account where you will tell them a little bit about yourself and how you're feeling. And then they'll assign you to a therapist, and the therapist will contact you via messages on the app. And you'll talk to them and develop a plan for you. And then you'll both work towards a goal. And then you can track your progress on the same app and access free resources for up to a year. And I'll actually stop sharing this screen so I can take you to their websites. Okay, so this is the Ability CBT website. So what you want to do is you'll go to, it'll take you to the home page, and then it'll kind of describe what they're doing, how they partner with the government of Ontario to give free support. There are some that they do charge $500 to get started, but then you will submit it to the government so that you can get reimbursed. And they tell you that this assessments at the beginning will only take 5 to 7 minutes, and then they'll assign you to a therapist so that you both can make up your own therapy plan program. So to sign up, you'll go here, sorry, and it will take you to this website here. where you'll fill out your information, and then you'll receive an email and an account so that you can start working with your therapist there. And if you have any questions about this, the sign up process, in their home page, they show, it will work. It shows you a video just going through the steps of what you need to do in order to gain access. The other program is Mind Beacon. So for this one, you'll go to their website and you'll see Try Our Free Therapist Guide program. And this is where you sign up. So you'll hit sign up. And it will take you to a page where they'll ask you a few questions to see how they can assist you. And then you'll get started on creating your own account. So there's a little bit of an overview of what you can expect. And then, like I said, they'll ask you a few questions just so that they can match you with the correct therapist to help you and see what goals you might have with them. There's also this virtual art therapy clinic. And what they do is that they combine therapy and art so that you can explore how you express your thoughts and feelings through paintings with a professional therapist. And the way that you sign up for this would be, you can either talk to someone on their live chat over here where it says online, or you can give them a call. But they also have over here their 1, 2, 3s. So first you would make an account. So you go to sign up and submit your information, your email and name. And then you'll go to book and it'll actually show you kind of, it'll be like this. So it'll tell you who will take the intake. So you go to availability by month, and it'll show you a calendar. And the calendar, you decide when you'll be able to take that questionnaire with them and with who. And after, when it's booked, you'll get a reminder that you have that appointment with them. And then they'll get you started with your art and therapy. And if you have any questions about the sign up process, you can always call the warm line, or you can email BIST. I'll be happy to give you more information about them, email you the links. You can also find the recording of the community meeting as well. So now let's talk about acceptance and commitment therapy, also known as ACT. So ACT therapy uses acceptance strategies and mindfulness to change actions and increase our psychological flexibility. So psychological flexibility means being in the present moment and being aware of your emotions and sensations at that time. It also means welcoming all your thoughts, even the negative thoughts, so that you can move forward towards a goal that you have in life. ACT uses several techniques to help patients overcome harmful beliefs or feelings. And some of these techniques are diffusion. So diffusion is instead of arguing with our negative thoughts, what will happen is that the therapist will tell you to simply not engage with those thoughts, just let them be there. Don't try to argue with yourself or make them more valid. Then there's mindfulness. So mindfulness is learning how to stay grounded in the present without trying to interpret anything or predict what can happen. So we just want to be in the present moment, not think about the future, pretty much. Clarity, this step, you discover what is most important to you. So your values, what goals you want to achieve, and recognize how certain actions can sabotage you in accomplishing that goal that you have. And then the final step is commitment. So this is where you create your plan on how you're going to achieve that goal, and then try to go towards that goal. And this is the most important step and requires the most participation so that it can actually be effective. So I'm going to show you a little clip that kind of shows what I mean by psychological flexibility and moving towards our goals and values.
I'm Tom. This is the story of my bus of life. On the journey, I pick up lots of passengers, memories, thoughts, emotions, some pleasant, some not so pleasant. Sometimes handling them can be tricky.
I knew you'd come this way again. Same old, same old.
You're pathetic.
What a grumpy lot. Don't worry, driver. I can sort them out.
Don't even think about going down there.
That way will never work out.
Where's that bus going? It looks exciting.
What do you think you're doing? You think you have what it takes? You'll just fail like last time. Dream on.
What's the point? It's too much work. Why take the risk?
Haha, it's not like it's your choice. This is my bus.
Okay, I'll turn around. Just be quiet.
Listen, let's make a secret deal. You keep doing what you're doing and I'll keep the passengers quiet for you.
Okay then, back to the same old road. Just so you know, I'm not happy about this. I like driving buses. What I'd really love to do is be a race driver.
Loser, what do you think you're doing?
Better stick to what you know or the deal is off.
Race driver? You're a loser. Stick to driving buses. Right, that's it. This is my bus. Get off.
Yeah, fight me. Let's see where that gets you. Your pathetic excuse for a driver.
Your bus ain't going anywhere now. I don't know why you bother driving.
Hey, what's going on in that bus? Things seem to be happening differently.
You're not allowed to go that way. We've got rules.
Thanks for the feedback, guys, but this is my bus.
Maybe I don't need to get rid of this bunch. They could just come with me for the ride.
Whatever. You're still a loser.
I don't know about this.
No, what about the deal?
Racetrack, that's where I want to go.
So in this metaphor, we can see that the passengers are our negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions that hold us back from driving towards a goal. The driver's goal was to be a race car driver. And the thoughts that he had was that he wasn't good enough. So that held him back. And he tried to fight them, as you saw, but that didn't work. He still continued to have them. So it wasn't until after he stopped engaging with those thoughts, he started driving towards that goal. So we see that they started to calm down. He was more active. He was going on dates. He was calling friends, and he pursued his race car driving goal. So I have some free mindful resources that you can access, and some are paid as well, but I found them on YouTube for you as well, so you can access them for free. So the first one is called Calm, which is a guided meditation guide. This guides you in breathing exercises to calming sounds to help you focus and be in the present moment. At least for a moment, you can just distract yourself from those negative thoughts that you may have. There's also Headspace, which acts the same way as Calm. They provide you with small videos of relaxing sounds that guide you through breathing exercises as well to lower anxiety and help you relax. And there's also a site called CouchMD, which is a website that you can access that allows you to book a virtual appointment with a doctor, and it's fully covered by OHIP. Here you can request to speak with a psychotherapist that can help with any symptoms such as depression, anxiety, trouble sleeping, relationship issues, or any other topics that you wish. So I'm just gonna stop sharing so I can show you what their websites look like. So here we can see, we'll start with CouchMD. So when you come to their website, it'll say book a free appointment over here. So you click on that, and then they will take you to their booking page. So here you can just write your name, email, and a phone number, and they'll contact you either by email or phone to book your appointment with the doctor, with a psychotherapist or a doctor. And this is what their homepage looks like. So it tells you a little bit about who they are. It was created by a doctor from Ontario, and they're helping with depression, anxiety, school stress, bullying, body issues, relationship stressors, sleep disturbances, COVID stress, which is big right now, memory concerns, financial stressors, family stressors, and it's all free. So you just book your appointment.
So Stephany, just to let you know, it's actually, it says click full screen to exit on our screen.
Oh.
So unfortunately we can't see it.
Let me try that again. Here we go. Okay.
There we go.
Let's go back to the CouchMD. So this is the CouchMD web page. So here's the little book a free appointment. So that's where you want to go if you want to book an appointment with a doctor or a psychotherapist. And all you have to do is just write your information, contact information, email, phone number, your name, and then they'll either contact you by email to to tell you when your appointment will be, or call you. And if you go here, you can see who they are. So they were developed by a doctor, like I said. And it's all on your phone, so you don't have to worry about commuting to an office to see the doctor. And the services they provide are listed right here. Like I said, depression, anxiety, COVID stress. They're all there and you can book your appointment here as well. Then we have Calm. So the Calm website will show you, it's like this. So they can help you with goals that range from improving sleep quality, reducing stress or anxiety, improve focus, self-improvement, or another topic of your choice. So to try Calm, it's I believe they give you 14 days for free, and then you have to pay monthly. But if you want to try it, the free trial, you can just go here and it'll ask you to make an account and ask you a few questions about what brings you to Calm, if you've had any experience with meditation, what's troubling you right now. So that just builds your profile so that they can suggest videos for you to watch. But you can also go to YouTube if you don't want to sign up for the free trial or pay monthly, because I know that can add up and it's just easier to go to YouTube sometimes and it's free. So once you go to YouTube, you type in Calm and Calm will come up. And then here you can see all their free videos. So they have Calm sleep stories that you can listen to. They also have 10-minute meditation videos, soothing sounds, and Calm body. The sleep doctors, they just give you brief chats that they've had. Mindful living and take a deep breath. So take a deep breath is just, they'll guide you when to breathe in and exhale, just so that you can relax when you're anxious, which is very helpful, I find. And then we have Headspace. So Headspace as well, they provide you with a free trial and then you have to pay monthly. So if you want a 14-day free trial and you pay $7.50 a month after, or 7 days for free, and then you pay monthly $17.99 a month. But I've also found them on YouTube. So you can type Headspace and their page will show up. And they have lots of free videos from their app that you can listen to. They range from like music beats, soothing music beats, to meditation, guided meditation. They'll guide you on what to do while you're meditating as well. So that's on the free side. And that brings us to the end. So I want to thank everybody for listening. And I hope this information and the resources I've shared with you are helpful. And if you have any questions, you can call BIST, the warm line, or send an email, and I'll gladly send the information out as well. And if you have any questions, yeah.
Okay, so my camera's having a little bit of a hard time starting up, but I see a lot of thank yous in the chat.
You're
and
welcome.
there's a comment that was awesome. So that's nice to hear. There I am. Okay. Okay. And another thank you. So I have one. How did you get started with this line of work and study?
So when I was in high school, my friend got me a job at the hospital in nutrition. And I was always put into the rehab wards where they were helping stroke patients get back to their daily living. And I would see the therapist working with them on simple things that we think are simple, but to them it means the world. So it was just like how to hold a fork, a knife, a pencil, things like that. And that just kind of made me want to pursue something in psychology and to be able to help individuals with their daily living activities. I wanted so badly to be part of that team. So I started researching where I could study something that will be helpful. And I saw behavioral science and it appealed to me. The fact that I can help someone's life be more meaningful to them, achieve things to change how they perceive themselves in ways as well. It's so, I don't know, rewarding, I find.
I have a comment.
Mhm.
Thank you for all of your great research and information.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And I have another question. I may have missed this. So the question is, why rearranging room spaces? What do you mean?
So when I was saying arranging room spaces, it could be so that it can signal you to do something that you may forget to do if you don't see something. So for example, myself, I've been trying to be more active now with COVID, since we weren't allowed to go to gyms or go outside as much. So in my room, I have by my bed, by the door, I have a yoga mat and my running shoes and exercise bands. So that signals me, oh, I have to do a workout. So that's what I mean by rearranging rooms. So it doesn't have to be like you have to move things physically. It just means kind of setting things up so that they signal you as a reminder to do things, or that, like I said, in the kitchen, not knowing where things are can be frustrating, and it has happened in my household. My mom switches things around all the time, so knowing that in this cupboard we have the cups, that's your kind of like signal, and that's a way of rearranging your environment as well.
Is the virtual art therapy free?
Yes, it is. They also accept donations, but if you can't donate at the time, it's okay. They provide free art therapy. Yeah.
And another member has asked, what was the question that you asked at the beginning? And they're wondering if they were supposed to interact, and they're saying that they could try to answer, but they would also love to hear your response as well.
Okay. So my question was, how have you tried to arrange your own environment to change your actions? So things that have worked for you, have you tried setting up reminders, or like I said, changing your environment? So putting things to signal that you need to do something at a certain time. So if you'd like to share in the chat, I'd love to know.
Yeah, me too.
It's a way of learning from each other. I think that if you suggest something, it might help another person with that too.
Their comment was, I put sticky notes on the mirror.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have on my laptop, I put sticky notes all over it just to remind me that I have to send emails or something.
And a member has said, I remind myself to smile.
Yeah.
Another member has said, put a sticky note on the front door to remind you of something to do before you go out.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I should put that for my dad. He always forgets things. Yeah, they're all good. I like the reminding yourself to smile. I think we should all have a sticky note by our mirror saying that. Yeah, putting cat food in front of the door.
Remember to feed the cat.
Mm-hmm. See, we're all arranging our environments.
Yeah,
in
without really
one way or another.
realizing. Okay. And I do mind mapping for organizing assignments.
That's a good.
Which I've heard of. And so a member has said, I have an app, it's called Repeat Timer.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. So does that work in that it just keeps reminding you until you snooze it?
So you can set it to go off every 10 minutes or 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look at that.
Oh, so I guess it's depending on how you want. So it can be forever or for however long you want. They were just giving you some examples. So another member has says, I tie my keys. Sorry, it's moving too quickly. I tie my keys and phone and purse onto one bag and I carry it out the door. That's a good strategy.
Forget your keys. Yeah.
In regards to that app that members was talking about, they said that they use it to remind themselves to focus.
That's a good way.
A member has also, oops, hold on. I have a list of things to take when going on an appointment. That one is actually a fabulous idea. And I think that we tend to, and when I say we, I think it's about 90% of the population, we tend to forget all the things that we want to go into an appointment with. And then you get there and you have 5 minutes with this person. And a lot of times you don't get, what you need to talk about in time. So that's a very good strategy.
It is, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so somebody's just asking if they can see this on the BIST website. So yes, this is being recorded and it will be available on our website shortly. And then of course on our YouTube channel. So subscribe. I utilize colors, pictures, gifts from loved ones, notes, decluttering and organization, a place for everything.
Very organized. You always know where things are in there. Yeah, I like that.
So I pack a Go backpack and it has everything I need to survive for 2 days. It has noise canceling headphones and sunglasses and protein bars and water. So I often open it when I'm anxious. And if I can't figure out what's upsetting me, I just open my backpack and my meds.
That's a good strategy.
That's also a really great one.
Yeah. I think something similar to that would be when we pack our own emergency kits. I don't know if you guys do that, but I've heard my friend does it. She has a bag with just first aid things just in case, and she knows that it's in the bathroom always. So that's another strategy too. Yeah, I like that.
Says yes, they do. They actually do have that.
I think we all should do that. So then we're not scrambling to find band-aids or anything.
Exactly. So this person was a lifeguard, and so they always have one. So this is
okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
So that's amazing. I painted one of my walls with chalkboard paint. Oh, and I draw it all over it.
Is this as a soothing technique or mindfulness? To remind yourself of everything. Okay.
Yeah. It was for short-term memory loss. That's a really great strategy. Although I have to say, I really liked Stephany when you said about utilizing it as a mindfulness technique or like a calming activity. That's also really amazing, especially when you have that wall space where it's just
But if you don't have that wall space, also you can purchase those mindful coloring books for adults. I know that they have them at the dollar store and they're like $3. So whenever you feel stressed out and you just want to unwind, you can just pull that book out and just doodle and color.
Yeah. There's a comment in reference to what we were just talking about, and person says that's a great one. So it's a great strategy. And another member says it costs $15 at Walmart. I'm assuming, so correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming that's the chalkboard paint. But they said it costs $15 at Walmart. My friends and family also draw on it and leave me messages. I love that. So yeah, they've confirmed it is chalkboard paint. That's $15 at Walmart. That's fabulous. And if you're not allowed to paint your wall, you know, you can also even just take another material, like a piece of wood or a palette or anything really, a gesso board from the dollar store, and you can actually paint that as well. So this person actually just said, my mom used chalkboard and bulletin board for reminders. So yeah. Here we are. I see a hand, but I don't see the person in here. That's why I'm taking a quick peek around. There we go. Okay. I also write a lot of things that make me happy. Oh, that's a really good strategy.
Yeah. Positive self-talk. Yeah.
Yes, remember calming activities. Sorry, I just realized I can't talk and type anymore. So I apologize. I'm just gonna have like moments of silence.
Okay.
Oops. Oh goodness. Sorry, everyone. Oh, so somebody's asking, what else do you do?
What else do I do? In general, or well, yeah, I'm a student, and so when I'm trying to manage everything, I don't know, no, I don't have it here, but I have a little notebook, an agenda, and it's sorted into columns. So one column says appointments, so I write all my appointments there, and then the other column says things to do, and then the other one says social life. So because it's just really hard, I believe, to manage like school, work, family, friends, it just gets way too much. So that kind of helps me plan out what I want to do, when I want to do, things like that.
That's a great strategy. I'm just thinking. So Stephany, I actually have somebody with their hand raised who I'm pretty certain is not able to type on their device. Okay. Are you okay if I let them speak for a moment?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I'll allow you to talk. But first, I'm just going to rename you because I'm not certain if it will come up. Yeah. I'm going to rename you, and then I will allow you to talk. Did you want to unmute? And what is your question or your comment?
Are you talking to me?
I am.
Oh, because I don't know how to type and use Zoom, so that's why. What I was gonna say when you were talking about decorating the wall if you can paint.
Yes.
What I did is I bought the scenic shower curtain, the fabric one from Amazon. They have like different scenery, like running on the beach, waterfall. So I just start to decorate my whole apartment and window for the winter. So every room I go to, I could be in Jamaica in one room. And then the next room, I could be like walking through the forest. So that's what I did with the fabric shower curtain.
That's a really good strategy. Yes. I like that.
Yeah.
And it looks fabulous.
Yeah,
it looks many vacations.
Yeah, like vacation every day.
Yes. Especially in the winter months when everything outside just looks dark and it kind of makes you feel a little drained and depressed. So having that reminder of like the beach and the sunny just a feel good vibe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oops, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go back. What is your advice regarding application of mindfulness and well-being, self-talk, etc., in personal life?
I think that everybody should do it. I think it's a way of just separating yourself from everything that's going around you. And just like I said, be in the present moment and feeling your own emotions at that time. I feel like if you are able to do like yoga or maybe just listen to the YouTube videos that I went over from Headspace or Calm, where they have like the sounds and just breathing techniques, that really helps you just slow down, kind of put brakes on life, and just for a second, just focus on yourself and how you're feeling. And it's just, I think that's just very important for your mental health as well, just to slow down. And I do it sometimes, not often, but I try to do it. So yeah.
So some more strategies is like putting a big calendar on the fridge for all of your appointments.
Mm-hmm. It helps you visualize and see when you're busy and available. Yeah.
Oops. I have a member who says I make funny things, and someone in response to what we were talking about earlier, that they like that strategy. They've also shared a link.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are here want to click that, you can go ahead. I was told by a specialist CBT won't work for me. I don't know.
It's hard to say, but I think that if you wanted to, you could try with this ability CBT resource and see. I think that everybody's different, so it works differently for everybody. What can work for someone might not work for another. So it's just trying and seeing how you feel too, right? That's as much as I can say to that, because I'm not a CBT a psychotherapist, so I can't really give more information about that. But
I have cactuses and spider plants all over my kitchen table. I pretend it's not winter. And then I think this is a helpful piece of advice. There's also DBT, and there are free worksheets online. Dialect behavior therapy. It helps us self-talk.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yes, it's more talking. Yeah.
Can it be used to recognize identifying behaviors for somebody with an ABI?
CBT or DBT?
I'm assuming it's, hold on, let's scroll back up.
For CBT. Yes. So when I was doing my research, it showed that brain injury survivors benefit well from CBT, because they'll teach you the strategies you need to be able to identify those behaviors that you need help with, that you need to be able to identify so that you can make your changes, right? So it's a process. You're not going to be able to go in and after the first session be able to identify them. It's a process of working through your thoughts and seeing when you reacted and how you reacted and what triggered it. So it's a process, but it does help with identifying triggers with TBI patients.
Okay, and then, sorry. It goes fast sometimes. Okay, so I have a question. Does Stephany have connection with TBI? If she doesn't mind me asking, does TBI show up in her life? I forget if she's told us this already.
So personally, no, but I am very interested in working in this field with brain injury survivors and patients. So I'm learning. So it has been a bit of an experience that I'm taking advantage of and actually enjoying learning more about.
And then I'm going to be reframing a question. It's like, I know it's here. Here we go. So some people with brain injury may not be able to learn CBT. Is there a comment?
Some people might not be able to.
So in the chat box, what I've written, just because I wanted to send something out before I reworded their comment. What I actually just let them know is that you're not required to learn CBT. It is at the discretion of a psychotherapist if you're a candidate for that. And so I don't feel like we need to be feeling any kind of pressure or that we may not be able to do it because it's exactly. I mean, it's a lot simpler than we think it is in some ways. And then I have, it is clear that Stephany is genuine and passionate. I'm so happy to have heard this today.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy you liked it. But yes, yeah, it's something I really want to work towards and be in this field. Yeah.
I'm biased, but we have the best members. So if you ever wanted to, there you go. Okay. Are there any other questions or comments tonight? I'll give it a couple more minutes. I'm giggling because in the chat box somebody said no.
Yeah, I see that now. No.
People who are watching won't be able to see the or when you watch the recording, you'll be able to see the chat box, and so it'll just look like I'm giggling for no reason. So what I'm going to do is I will. Okay, so I'm going to read you this question. Just came up. What does Stephany hope for the future in this field? That's a big one.
I know, yes. I like to see more therapeutic treatments out there and focus more on the whole, not just kind of like the injury itself, but things outside the injury, the things outside of behavioral problems. How can we help survivors more like a holistic approach, not just a medical approach, treating with more things in the environment, getting them back to being themselves in a way, things like that, just adding more kind of like warmth to the rehab process and more research about therapies as well.
And then I have, so somebody's just responded, meaning of life and living.
Meaning of life and living? Sorry, can you repeat that?
Meaning of life and living.
So how can we make our environments more meaningful to us? How our interactions with people more meaningful, helping that process of getting there in a way that makes sense.
And I have, thank you so much for all of your effort and time today. Holistic is my favorite topic lately. Stephany has amazing responses.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And they're asking if they can email you.
You can email my BIST account and I'll happily answer. And then on Mondays and Tuesdays, I'll be in the warm lines if you'd like any information too.
Sure, I'm just pulling up them and putting them into the chat. Okay. So if there are no more questions or comments for the evening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down the evening. I will be staying back for about 2 seconds just to put in some information into the chat box. Everybody has that. But otherwise, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Stephany, for such a fabulous presentation. Some of the resources that you brought to us are so incredibly beneficial. I don't think that's the right word for our members. I think that one of the things that we struggle with the most is trying to find resources, services, supports that we can actually access. And unfortunately, there are so many barriers. So I just wanted to personally say thank you so much for bringing so many of those to us. And I really do appreciate that.
No,
and thank you to,
sorry.
Well, not at all. Go
No,
ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me and for the amazing conversation and comments as well and questions. It's been an honor to be here and speak to you guys about this.
Well, I think we've all appreciated your time as well. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to also thank all of our members for coming out tonight. It's always really nice to have you, even if it's not in person, and you're always so engaging and you ask the most incredible questions. So thank you so much to everybody, and we'll see you next month. Have a great night.